Fire Emblem lords have been taking Joe Schmo from the Shire and turning them into a great warrior for generations. From Castor, to Ronin, to Braum, to Mozu, finding some dude on the side of the road is a rite of passage for every Fire Emblem protagonist. But perhaps the most popular of these characters is young Donnel from Fire Emblem Awakening, a boy who is so incredibly not qualified to be a soldier. I mean, look at him, he's wearing a pot on his head. But a fun design combined with an incredibly memorable performance on the battlefield has led him to be one of Awakening's most popular characters. And today, I'm going to take a look at Fire Emblem's biggest pothead to see what he's all about. But before we begin, I know asking to like and subscribe to a video before you even watch it is really stupid, so I'm not asking, I'm threatening. If you don't like and subscribe to my channel, I'm going to break into your house while you sleep and jiggle your phone charging cord a little bit so that your phone is not charging, but you don't notice it's not charging until you wake up in the morning to a 3% battery.
There is no meme. This is just a threat.
Donnel appears in Awakening's first paralogue, essentially a side quest map with a story completely separate from the main game, so it can really do whatever it wants. And with the ability to do whatever it wants, it tells the most bog-standard Fire Emblem tale you can do. Bandits are attacking Donnel's village, and he needs the help of passerbys with 27 different hair colors. The game's main Lord Chrom tells him to stay close to him, but Donnel is way too afraid to be anywhere near close to the front lines. Upon hearing this, Chrom tells him that he should fight and become stronger to overcome his fear, and Donnel reluctantly agrees. Again, this is a very by-the-numbers bit, but Donnel quickly starts to change it in a way that is unique to himself. Because when other villagers like Ross or Cliff say they're going to help you, they immediately join you and are in your army for good, regardless of if you're going to just put them in the barracks and never think about them again. But Donnel's unique. His recruitment requires him to level up once on his join map. Otherwise, once the bandits are taken care of, he feels as though he's not going to do anything and he just stays home. And I think this is a great way to tell the story through gameplay. Donnel's main fear is that he would just get in the way, and if you have him cower in the corner on his opening map, that doesn't show him that he can be of help, it just shows him that he can cower in fear. Leveling him up means giving him a few kills, letting him get a taste of combat and realize that just because he's a country boy, that doesn't mean he can't kill 30 to 40 feral men with his bare hands, and that inspires him to help fight for the people of Elise. It's honestly my favorite recruitment in the series. It's very clever, while also not being obtuse and annoying, like some horrors that will not be named. And when you get Donnel, you quickly realize you've been given the single greatest bundle of stats you can possibly get your hands on. Donnel has the ability Aptitude, which makes his growth all increase by... Let me think about the math here. Carry the one. Approximately a shit ton. While his bases are abysmal, he catches up to your army's power quickly, and then catches up to God's power even faster. Fire Emblem has had units with Donnel level growths before, but they're usually late game units, who are really weak for their join time, and don't have a lot of time to actually contribute once they're grown. Donnel can be recruited right after Chapter 3, and because you're required to level him up to complete his recruitment, everyone's going to see all those stats increase and are going to understand what he can do. And his power is his biggest impact. Fire Emblem fans don't quite go nuts over units for units' sake like they used to. Most people go crazy for their favorite war criminals because of how they're written. Characters like Seth and Rutger, who are supported by people who don't read any dialogue, is a bit of a lost art, and I feel like Donnel was the last hurrah of that type of fame. People didn't give a lick about who he was as a person, they just liked seeing all the numbers go up when he leveled up. And honestly, I think they're so right for thinking that. And would you believe me if I told you that I genuinely think Donnel's unit performance is the best example of Awakening's gameplay enhancing its story? Awakening's main theme is the power of love and friendship. Don't get me wrong, every Fire Emblem game is essentially a 40-hour speech about the power of friendship, but in most other Fire Emblems that's a background theme. In Awakening, it's the theme. Awakening believes that love can conquer anything. Friends supporting friends can do the impossible. Undo fate, kill a man, lead to falling in love, killing another man. The possibilities are endless. And this is shown right down to the game's main mechanic, Pair Up, where another unit disappears off the map to give a stat boost to another unit and help work in tandem. And Donnel uses this mechanic very well. At the start, Donnel is very weak. He can't kill anything on his own, especially on higher difficulties, so he needs the help of his allies to get going. Be that by getting pair-up stats from someone like Frederick, or getting kills after an ally like Frederick weakens an enemy, or by being saved from an enemy that can easily kill him by someone like Frederick killing it first. He needs a bit of help from his friends, but as the game goes on and he gets more and more level ups, he will be the one to help his friends. He can be the one giving huge stat boosts to allies, or he can be the one saving units with his incredible power. And without the power of friendship, he would have never come close to reaching that full potential. Awakening's gameplay gets scrutinized a lot because of its lackluster map design, but I think Donnel shows that it can actually be really clever if you're willing to think about it. And what makes Donnel even more fun is the fact that aptitude can be passed down to children. So if Donnel finds himself a lovely lady and has a kid, well, congratulations, you now have second Donnel. And if second Donnel is someone that your Robin can marry, well then you can have a child with them, and then you'll have third Donnel. Really, it keeps going and it's the gift that keeps giving. So with all of that talk about storytelling through gameplay, how about storytelling through story? How good are Donnel's supports? Well, his character is simple. He's a country hick who knows how to live life on the farm and not much else. His supports are hard to analyze, not because they're bad, but because they're not written to be the kind of thing to analyze. The goal of Donnel's character is to be simple fun. You see this young kid with a big heart and strong work ethic bounce off of the rest of Awakening's cast, and you smile because he's just so sweet and likable that you enjoy watching him make all these new friends. He is 100% excelling at what he's trying to do, but what he's trying to do doesn't lend himself to these kind of videos. The gameplay story integration stuff is mainly what I wanted to talk about here. I suppose I can give some examples of him being likable and act like showing a scene from the game counts as analyzing it. His supports with Kellum have him bond with him over their shared farming background, with both of them working hard to farm crops for the army and contribute in their own way, leading to a cute friendship where they both contribute with their different knowledge, Kellum knowing some things Donnel doesn't and vice versa. His supports with Tharja have him convince her to use her magic to help out the army when a sickness goes around. Tharja only doing so because of Donnel's eagerness to help her when she wants bizarre ingredients for her curses. And it's cute that Donnel can make even a gloomy person like Tharja be so sweet. And then there's his support with Stahl, where he's trying to find out the best weapon to fight with to best help the army because he doesn't want to fall behind. Everything Donnel does, he does for the sake of others. He's honestly one of Fire Emblem's most selfless characters. A real bumpkin Jesus, and that does make it easy to root for him. He doesn't need to be complex, he just needs to be sweet, and by God, is he sweet. There is one thing I want to bring up about him that I do really appreciate though, and that's that Awakening made Donnel uneducated, but it didn't make him stupid. His backwater village doesn't have a school, Donnel's education outside of farming starts and ends at knowing the alphabet just well enough to read what some words mean. But when given the chance to learn things, like when Lissa tries to teach him astrology, Muriel tries to teach him basic mathematics, or when Maribel tries to teach him law, he shows an astute ability to read and process new information faster than the people teaching him expect. It would have been really easy to lean into the idea that country folk are stupid, but they don't do that with Donnel. He's shown to be a respectable scholar if given the opportunity, and that makes him stand out among other JRPG hicks because of it, in a really good way, in my opinion. But that's about it for Donnel. This is just a small, simple video for a small, simple man. I feel like he was set up to be one of Awakening's most popular characters the second people saw his first level up, and him being a nice and likable guy was honestly just a bonus on top of that. He's a testament in how you don't need a 43-page backstory or multi-layered symbolism to be a good character. You just need a simple idea and a solid execution. And if there's anything Donnel's good at, it's executions. I would like to thank you all for making it to the end of another character analysis video. We're nearing 100, every day brings us closer, and I cannot wait to reach that milestone and then do nothing special about it. I would also like to thank my buddy Guy the Green Brigand for looking over the script and making sure that it was up to snuff. Thanks a lot, buddy. I always enjoy going back and forth with you about Fire Emblem shit. And before this video ends, I would like to shout out to my patrons. I am doing this at the end instead of the gag in the middle like I normally do for no reason, and not at all because I genuinely forgot to put it in there until the video was already complete. My Patreon is patreon.com/FEMSpaint, link is in the description below, and if you're willing to give as little as $3 a month, you can join the likes of Adebayo Thompson, Andrew Crockett, Bean Juice, Benz Again, Dr. McBackstab, Great Riek, Hell on Heelys, Ichigo D, Camus, Jaeger, Guts, Kenpachi, Shiro, Uzumaki, Kiri, Yamato, Kratos, Char Ansel, Frederick Sirius, Balsara Hakuman, The White Void, Justbacito 2, Lysevening Bolt, Marth War Criminal, Morga Lorgan, Plaid Arrow, Ranger Man Sam, Shenlu, the world's most unironic 8.5 tail stand, Viri the Artist, Walmart Reader, Ya Girl Owen, Brentendo 11, Drew Hack, Fire Emblem Lord, Ginger, Goo Goo Gaga, Cornelia Milkers 92, Maple Knight, and Upscale Furry Trash. Thank you all for your continued support, and if you enjoyed this, please consider joining the Discord. The link is in the description below. We like to have fun there. It's a good time. I promise you, you will only get a small amount of brain cancer if you join. So, with that done, until next time.
Change the world.